Hello and welcome to this video. Can AI take over an accountancy practice? Can it take our jobs? The way for me to test this is to use AI that's on the market. We could talk every day. And if you come along to our podcast, Ask the Accountant, you'll know we talk a lot about what we think the future of AI is going to give us and what the future is going to be. But today we're going to be able to talk about AI that's now live, you can buy, you can have a go at and see if it's going to change your world or not. It's an interesting one. I'm not sure you're going to be very surprised by the answers. But anyway, keep watching all the way and we'll see exactly if the AI is going to be taking over the world of accountancy anytime soon. Roll the VT. Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I am a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with a fancy new logo, that QuickBooks Chap on the internet, head of accounts here on Boffix, and also your friendly podcaster who goes live each and every Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. for Ask the Accountant. Now, in today's video, we're going to be looking at a piece of AI called Copilot. Now, it's Microsoft's version of AI. It's the one that they're touting as the future of utilising it. And what drove me to give it a go is the fact that in our practice, we use quite a lot of Microsoft products. We use Microsoft Excel, as do most accounting practices out there. We use Microsoft Windows. We use Microsoft Outlook if we've got external emails to look at. We look at the ability of using Microsoft bookings. And probably our most important piece of Microsoft technology, we use Microsoft Teams. So when you combine that, and you can see we are part of that ecosystem, right? If this is supposed to be there to give us an opportunity to make that ecosystem better, and that this whole idea of AI is to basically empower that ecosystem, take it to its next level and everything else, I feel like this is where we need to give it a go. So first of all, let's figure out exactly what Microsoft Copilot is, or Copilot for Microsoft, I think they like to call it. And let's have a look. Now, the version we're using is Copilot for Microsoft 365. And that's because we use the Microsoft 365 suite. So let's go and have a look and see how it works. First of all, pricing. This is not cheap. You also have to have an annual commitment to be able to utilize it. So you can see on screen here, that's a very pricey element to do. Now, all I'm doing is testing it. So, I'm on like a trial period, all that sort of stuff. But if I want to use this fully, is it worth £300 a year? I think we'll figure that out at the end. But what's it telling us it can do, right? Your assistant for work. Focus on what matters most. You can stay up to date and easily track discussions. This bit here is the bit that I do find really, really powerful, and we'll come to that in a moment. But it's deliver effective customer service. So you get the opportunity to bring it through there. There's amplify creativity. Copilot itself is fully built in, and you get some extra features from it. Grow your customer base more creatively. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but that's what they're pushing there. Think faster. So you've got the opportunity to connect to things like Excel and bringing down elements in there. That's always going to be something to go through. And then they talk about how it's very trusted in terms of security. Okay, here's the options. So this is what we're going to go through. We're going to go each one. Okay, so let's have a look at Copilot. Now, think of Copilot as basically ChatGPT, but wrapped in its own little branding, Microsoft elements to it. And again, the benefit of it is we are logged in as my account with Microsoft. So in theory, this should have access to everything that Microsoft has. So that, to me, is where the power of this comes from, right? This is going to give me an opportunity not just to have ChatGPT and ask questions like that, but have an opportunity to go through from that. Like, for example, I can get some calendar information. When is my next meeting with Lizzie? So in theory, it's supposed to take the whole ecosystem it's got, it's supposed to look into there, and it goes through from there. Now you'll see here, it's not the quickest, and straight away it doesn't know. So didn't like that bit, but what about this one? When is my next meeting with, and this time I'm going to put the full name in, see what happens. So now that I've put the full name in, it's been able to find it. And I suppose, in fairness, I put a Y, not an IE. So, pretty much on me, I suppose, on that point. Your next meeting with Lizzie is scheduled for the 24th of April, 10 a.m. It's a work in progress event. Would you like any assistance in preparing it? So let's figure out let's say yes, please to that one. Yes, please. Let's see what it's going to do in terms of assisting. And although it's not the quickest in the world, because you've got access to that ecosystem, it's got access to that data, This is where, in theory, you should be able to find stuff. So here we go. So to prepare for the upcoming meeting, here are some key points and documents you might want to review. Boffix sales by product and detail and service. So this is where it gets really interesting because it's combed through my OneDrive and it's found items that it thinks going to be useful. So work in progress meeting for us, this is our get together, our weekly get together. We talk about everything, right? And what it's telling me that it says, right, Boffix limited sales by product and service detailed. This document contains detailed information on year-end accounts, monthly charges, and invoice of various clients, component inventory that could be crucial for discussing finance or client accounts. And actually, that could be really beneficial, right? Accountex prize checklist, a guide linked to Accountex North, which includes instruction on how to engage with social platforms, increase chances to winning prizes. And that's an internal document that was created by Lizzie. So if we were going to bring in marketing into this one, actually, spot on. Aaron LinkedIn review point, authored by Lizzie. The document provides insight on the LinkedIn profile and suggests improvements. It might be useful for personal branding. Okay, not for this meeting, but we do a marketing meeting, which is the next meeting that it'll find from there, and that'll get it right. Boffix appraisal, probably not the sort of thing you want to be talking about in a work in progress with the rest of the team, but okay, it's brought that up. And it goes through telling me a mid-year update presentation, includes updates on conferences, marketing feedback, and new initiatives. So yeah, if it found Lizzie, as Lizzie is our marketing person, it's gone very marketing heavy on that. But that first one up here, 100%, yeah, I can see it. Let's see if it finds any more meetings. Okay, so now it's brought up all of the meetings there. So let's deep dive into the bi-weekly marketing meeting we have, because that's just me and Lizzie, right? So here we go. Tell me more about it. I can just click the little prompt there. Okay, so actually it's done pretty well. In preparation for the meeting, you might want to review the recent communication regarding into accounting social catch-up. It also talks about how we should be looking at the practice manager reel uploaded to Instagram, and also mention uploading new videos. So what Copilot's done there is look through my Teams chat with Lizzie herself, find stuff that would be there. Would you like to draft an email to Lizzie and any other attendees, or perhaps create an agenda? Yes, please. Create an agenda and email to Lizzie. This is where the power of it definitely comes in. So it's looking at creating an agenda for me based on historical meetings we've had and references a bi-weekly meeting, right? So we have an opportunity to go for it. And just like that, it's starting to create a nice little agenda. It's putting an email together and it's putting it through from there. Generally, I think that's the impressive bit, right? We'd like to make any changes or additions to the agenda or email before sending it out. Let me know if you'd like to proceed. Obviously, in the real world, I'd be going through this and making sure. But for this test, let's just say proceed. Okay, so that's an example of where it can really use the ecosystem. Now, it's got full GPT functionality, chat GPT functionality, so I can be creative with it. Create me an image of myself for a YouTube thumbnail. Let's see what it comes up with this, eh? So this is where it gets a little bit more creative. So, but I'm able to create images or visual content, however, I can help you brainstorm ideas. Okay. It's not what I was told that Microsoft 365, Office 365 could do. I was told it could create images. I wonder if that's because we're on the work one. If I turn it to the web one, oh, here we go. Create a image for a video, for a YouTube video. So what I did here is I went from my work profile, which is just looking at all that work stuff and going through from there to the web. So the idea is that now it's using full-blown chat GPT and it's generating me an image. This is what it's generated for me. Not sure which one is more like myself, but it's had a go at it. A person using Copilot for the first time using YouTube. Out of curiosity, let's just see. Please include Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks Chap, into the second image. I'll try to create that, it says. Funnily enough, it says include a speech bubble, Aaron Patrick's catchphrase. I'm not sure what my catchphrase is, but that's what it's given me an opportunity to bring in there. Add some humour. I think it's not too bad. I mean, this looks very interesting. Look, I mean, that is very much impressive, isn't it? And let's see what I'm just curious. I want to see what my catchphrase would be according to Microsoft Copilot. Let's have a look. Okay. Well, this one's definitely me. QuickBooks 365, apparently, which is a whole new product I've not seen. QuickBooks again. I mean, if they want to get an image of me, I think that's just spot on. If anything, probably too accurate. And then, yeah, Hispy books, QuickBooks included, and there's me as Superman apparently. Fair enough. Fair enough. There's the images and it comes up with me. So that's the more creative side of Copilot. What is it about Microsoft Teams though? This generally is the bit that got me the most excited. So within Microsoft Teams itself, in a chat area, I get the Copilot section at the very top, or a little Copilot button here. So if I click the Copilot button on there, I can try out all the prompts. Prompts make it easy for you to go. So I can see the highlights from the past 7 days between myself and Lizzie. What did we talk about? What should we be bringing in? So here's some key takeaways. Lizzie asked about video priority for the YouTube channel. Lizzie had trouble resetting a password for a piece of software, client engager. And then Lizzie also said that she's bringing a broken laptop to Accountancy. So that shows you, doesn't it, of where the power of this is going to be. I don't think it's quite there now. Yes, that's a really nice one. And to be fair, I'd forgotten about the broken laptop. So that's a nice reminder, right? Maybe I can even say set reminder for broken laptop. Let's see if that can generate something for us. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm unable to set reminders or perform any active actions. I can only provide information based on the chat data. So that's a little bit disappointing, right? But you kind of get to see the information there. What is really, really impressive though, is I look at a conversation like this one here. So this is a meeting that we had with one of our partnerships that we've got. And this is where the power of it comes, because if I do recap this meeting, because we were able to record it and put it through from there, now I'm going to grab that meeting and create some impressions for it. And especially with the software that we use. So we use Client Engager, as you all know, big fans of Client Engager. If this was a meeting with Ask the Accountant, for example, I've got a whole area here in my communication. We can log meeting or chat. And that's what I really like about it. So from here, I can say that it was myself. I was talking to so-and-so. So it was a partnership meeting. And then what happens is I can grab straight from Teams and go, well, here it is. This is what we talked about. Developer recruitment, client onboarding, client engagement portal, HubSpot integration, whatever we've spoke about, all of this stuff can easily be now added to this meeting. Press save, everyone has access to it. That's where the power of this comes in. For me to have written that down and put that into context and gone through all that, that might have been, X amount of time spent to create that work. But the fact that with one button I can do that, yes, I could have probably taken the transcript and just dumped that in there. That means people have got to read through it, right? This way it's gone through and it's put through all that information for me. Everything's there. And I've been trying this out with every meeting we've done. That's where the game changer is for me. That ability to be able to go and just get some action points directly out of a meeting. It takes the pressure off me. I can concentrate on the meeting itself. I don't need to be thinking about follow-up information or anything like that, because as soon as that meeting's over, I get Copilot to work. I get it to give me the prompts that I need to do. It tells me the prompt. I've got confidence that it's right, confidence that it's going to find it for me, and then we crack on from there. That's to me the secret sauce. This is where I am a little bit excited about where this is going, because ultimately, for me, that's where the power is. It's the communication. It's taking the pain points out of it, making you less friction with your clients and giving you an opportunity to be able to wow them by being able to make sure that you don't drop the ball on the stuff that you've promised to do with them. And that is what I like. So the next bit is all about Microsoft Word. I'll be honest with you, I don't like this part of it, only because it's not really part and parcel of my day-to-day work, right? So if I go and I open up Microsoft Word, as soon as I create a document within Word, it's going to come up with me, and you can see Copilot sat there. It's asking me, what do I want to do? So if I select the icon with it, it's what do you want to do? Do I reference a file? Do I want to kind of create something? So if I reference a file, generate. So what it's doing is looking at a file that we've done and kind of generated a new one based on it. This is the bit where, for me, doesn't quite do what it needs to do. I can see where it's going to help. I can see kind of what it's trying to do here, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm 100% on board with what it does. But again, that's probably because we don't really use Microsoft Word all that much. Maybe generating a letter to send HMRC or something might be a useful use case for it down the line. Outlook though, Well, this is where it gets interesting. So let me show you one of the ideas of it. So if I was to do a new email, now I'm going to kind of swap it around here. And I'm going to send myself an email from the QuickBooks Chap to Aaron Patrick. And let's do a test email and just say, hello, are you free this week to be able to talk about my accounts? Now, this is where I'm hoping this will go one day, all right? So I've sent that email over. You can see now that that email's come through. So in theory then, this email's here. Now I can do a summary. So it'll scan through the email. Not much to summarize on this email, very short. But the QuickBooks Chap sent an email to you and asking if you're free this week to talk about their accounts. Signed email includes that their title is Head of Accounting. They also provide a link to book a chat with them. Okay. So let's see what I can do with this. So that's my summary. I can reply to them. So I can just say reply to say, yes, please book with me using my booking calendar. And let's see what it does with this, right? Yes, I am available this week to discuss your accounts. Please use my booking calendar to schedule a time. With us both, I look forward to speaking with you. Yeah, so this is where you've got to be really careful. So I can say, let's make it very formal. See if if it has a different tone of it. Thank you for your email. I'm available this week to discuss your accounts with you. To arrange a convenient time for our meeting, please use my booking calendar. How about we say provide link to booking calendar. In theory, this shouldn't be a problem at all. I'm using Microsoft Booking, so their own internal solution, and it's done that. Oh, has it? This link, calendly.com. It's interesting that it's thrown me to calendly.com and not Microsoft Bookings, which interestingly is page not found. Yes, the link is wrong. We use Microsoft Bookings. Let's see if this does it. Oh, no, it isn't. Right, okay. Let's see if that's the right link. I don't trust it. It's just sent me to a thing. So it's not giving me an opportunity to book with it. So it's slightly disappointing, I think, there. But hey ho, that's definitely something that we need to improve on later down the line. But the idea of thank you for your email available this week to discuss. I can also, options wise, I can make it a bit more casual, longer, shorter, a bit more direct. So if I did it more casually, see the tone of it comes through. And I don't necessarily use this verbatim, but I do like the idea of changing the tone sometimes. What would it sound like if it is a little bit more casual? Is there anything I can take out of that to try and utilize it? That's why I find this really useful. So in this example, hi there, thanks for your email. Actually sounds right, okay? Like I probably would include that on every email I send out. I'm free this week to chat about your accounts. You can use my booking calendar to pick a time that suits you. Actually, I quite like that one. That's a much better approach than it was. And just seeing those different tonal elements of it, that's where I find the strength for this to go through. Copilot's trying to suggest a sending time for me and all that. So it's giving me the opportunity. And you can see, yeah, it needs work, especially with that booking side of things. It definitely needs to kind of see that. But you can see what the benefit of including that in there. All right, cool. PowerPoint. I find this really, really clever. The idea that you can transfer ideas into stunning presentation, I think it's really, really clever. So let me bring up PowerPoint. Copilot is just here. Right, so we just spoke to it, didn't we, about my next meeting with Lizzie. So let's see that agenda that it got up for me. So the agenda was here. So if I copy this, I want to create a presentation about that agenda. So let's see, with nothing else there at all, that agenda that we've got a meeting for in a couple of weeks' time, let's see what the presentation is going to be like. So at the moment, it's pulling things together, generating something for me. And we're going to see what it does here, like how that agenda comes together. And straight away, look, agenda for bi-weekly marketing meeting on the 11th of April. Here's a preview of action items, although I don't know what's going on with this picture here, but fair enough, let's put a picture in. Social media updates, content distribution, marketing strategies, any other business, closing remarks. Like that is quite impressive, right? Like that's the one. Maybe, and I don't know if it'll be able to do this, please change the branding to be more in line with Boffix. Let's see what it is, because we'd never use those colours. That's not colours we would use in our branding. Can't do that, but answer your general about things. Okay. So you couldn't do that bit. You can use designer to adjust the layout. So there is kind of a whole different design options here. So I could just quickly change it. And in fairness, in the design area, I'm pretty sure you can choose your colours and stuff like that. And I could set them all up and everything else. So I probably would be able to kind of get that through. But as a let's start a presentation, let's get things off the ground, let's get things there, it's not a bad attempt, right? I imagine I can, if I go back to Copilot, send this via Teams to Lizzie. Let's see if it's able to interact with the rest of my teams and everything else that goes there. So the idea would be here that it's now going to be able to send this over. I'm sorry, but I am language for the capacity to send emails or messages, which is weird because it just sent me an email, but whatever, right? That's PowerPoint. Got one more to have a look at, which is Excel. This is a bit where I won't lie to you, I was the most excited about and maybe the most disappointed. Let's have a look then. So straight away I get Copilot up here. Now, for me, what I was really excited about is bringing it in line with QuickBooks Spreadsheet Sync, right? So Spreadsheet Sync means I can bring data directly from QuickBooks into here. So if I quickly sign in, I'm just bringing in a really simple set of data. I'm going to run the report and it's brought this data in for me. So what I've done is I've brought it directly through QuickBooks. So this is really in line with what my QuickBooks file would say. This is all sample data here, so there's nothing too important about it all, to be honest. It's all made up data. But the idea would be, though, generate this data, see what Copilot says about it, right? So the idea then is now, let's find out what it can do. So let's understand this information. What can it say? So I can analyze data and show insights and charts and pivot tables, suggest a prompt, scribe. Right, cool. So show data insights. Let's have a look what it's going to tell us about this the data that we've got in front of us. What can it gain from the fact that we've got some information here? And it's told me created by, I think it's giving me a pivot chart. It says that blank created over 50% of the content, 2012, and Aaron. Here is a pivot chart I've created to show you the sum of it. Okay, so let's show pivot table. Show pivot chart. So let's see what this pivot chart is then. Let's see what it's done. Analyzing the data. Okay, so it's showing me a customer. Let's add to a new sheet. So it's bringing this in for me. And you can see here that the blank is there. Now, the weird thing is, the blank shouldn't be there. I think blank is the totals. So, okay. So how about understand, ignore blanks, and show pivot chart. Let's see what happens. I couldn't create a chart. Add to new sheet. So it's done counter rows, invoice, and blank 5. So it didn't ignore blank, it just put it there. So this again, maybe I'm expecting too much from it, but it is a simple bit of request really, or do something with the data, right? One thing I know that I think I've tried is it has to be a table. So I need to go in and create it as a table. But once it's a table, that's when I can use my Copilot. And this is the idea where I can understand it more, right? So let's work on it. When was my best month? Okay, let's see what it can figure out for me. When was my best month, right? There's my income, there's my expense. Can it figure it out? December, sum of income, 400. But the expense was obviously a lot higher there. I only made £80. I question if that was my best month, especially when February straight away shines out to me as probably one of my highest. Okay, so that was my best income month, but maybe it wasn't there. How about add a profit column? So the idea here is we could just quickly add a profit column, generating formula column suggestions for me. Okay, so it has figured this one out. If I hover over it, it gives me a little indication of what it's going to look like when I put it on there. So let's insert the column there, and it's done. So that's where it can be really powerful, right? The idea that it's added a profit column for me, put it in through from there. From here, then I can say which month was I most profitable. So I'd imagine it'll come up with February for me. Going to data, December was the most profitable with profits of £80. Don't agree. But that's what this is all about, right? Like, this is us showing how it is and go through from there. So, you know, is there any outliers in my data? Let's see what it comes out of there. So, I mean, it's already lied to me, but let's see if it's got any outliers. Is that what it's coming up with? Sorry, but I don't have the ability to analyze data for outliers. Okay. Create a chart. Let's see if we can create a chart on this. But this is where I think the frustration, there's a lot of potential here, right? And maybe my expectation is too high. Maybe I'm asking for too much at this point. But that's where I really do feel like this let it down a little bit. I'm sorry, but don't have the ability to create charts. However, you can use the data in the table to create a chart or graph in your spreadsheet application. Okay, so that's what it is. And there we have it. That is a breakdown of Copilot for Microsoft. The Microsoft Teams integration is amazing. There's some potential there in the email side of things, definitely. That PowerPoint presentation, good first steps. But overall, when you think of the price point, is it worth it? That's the difficult thing. And I think at this moment in time, not enough warranted. If the AI in the Excel side of things was more fluid, quicker, easier to do. So remember, we're in beta at the moment. Once that's been improved on, that language model gets better, then it definitely, I think there's a warrant, there's a conversation for is it worthwhile or not. I think in its current state, the fact it's still in preview, that's where it lets down. And it needs to look at the rest of the ecosystem. The fact it didn't look at my bookings calendar, I was a bit surprised at. My assumption was it's a Microsoft product. It's going to look at all of Microsoft, including the bookings thing. That's where it came through. Because I think the bookings calendar integration with AI will be really powerful. Free up some time in my diary. You know, that diary management side of things, I think is going to be really useful. Again, that's going to be a huge chunk of, is it going to be worth it or not? Well, yeah, it could quite well be. At the moment, that Teams integration is for me the worthwhile bit. Like, if I was going to pony up for it, then it would be for that Teams integration and going from there. But then there's other options on the market that can do that. I think the difference is that because it's all integrated, it goes from there. One slight downside of the Teams side, it will only record proper Teams meetings and be able to analyze them. If I was to jump into Zoom, for example, it wouldn't be able to do that. And the disappointing bit is if I was to go and make a phone call from Teams, because we have the phone call enabled element on Teams, if I was to make a call through Teams, it's unable to analyze that bit, which I find really strange. Like, it's having a transcribe, it's keeping all that, but as soon as I put the phone down, that transcribe goes away, which I find really disappointing. And I've not found a way yet of just be able to record that, have an opportunity to record it elsewhere without using the team side. So I feel like that's a bit of a disappointment. I'd love to see that bit was included as well, because we do a lot of Teams calls, but also we have phone calls that are going through Teams, so I don't expect there. And what about if I do face-to-face? How am I supposed to record those ones? Do I set a Teams call going in the background and recording it, and then it won't know who's who? There's a bit that needs to be kind of sorted from there. Overall, really happy with it. Like, I see the potential where they're going. Is it going to replace jobs? No, it's not. Never going to be there. Is it going to enhance someone's job? Yeah, completely. Is it going to give them more time to go and do more impactful stuff? Exactly. And that's where AI is going, in our opinion. That's why every time we talk about Ask the Accountant, that's the positivity we've spun from it. And I feel like we're onto a winner on that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you feel like this is something that is just a flash in the pan, is never going to catch on? Or do you see bits there where you go, actually, I can see that working, I can see that being useful? So let us know in the comments below. My name's been Patrick. As always, this video has been absolutely brilliant to do. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that sort of stuff, because we're going to be around showing you more stuff around these AI stuff as more stuff comes through. Intuit Assist is going to be huge when it comes to AI, which is the QuickBooks' own AI language model they've developed by themselves. Remember, Copilot is leaning heavily on ChatGPT. So there is an element there where, you know, they're in kind of, it's all down to how fast the ChatGPT process is and how quick they can modify and go through from there. So, you know, it's always going to be kind of hamstrung from there. But if Intuit Assist has built their own, that's why I'm getting really excited. So, my name has been Aaron Patrick. As always, this video has been an absolute pleasure to do for you. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.